We now have confirmation Australians have been called to vote on October the 14th on whether to enshrine an Indigenous voice to Parliament in our Constitution. The date was revealed by the Prime Minister at the official launch of the Yes campaign at a community rally in Adelaide's northern suburbs. Let's bring in our Sky News political reporter Joel Philp. And Joel, that big event was in Adelaide, but right around the country we're seeing local events really firing the starting gun on this campaign.
We are, Ash. Let's take a look at what's occurring throughout the day today. To start off with that main event being held in Adelaide, it was a community rally, a room packed full of hundreds of impassioned voice supporters and that were alongside dignitaries including senior government ministers and Indigenous elders. And we saw the Prime Minister there take to the stage. I'm going to show you a number of highlights from the speeches. But to begin with, him announcing that long-awaited moment, which was widely speculated, that Australians will indeed face a referendum on October 14 this year.
The idea for a voice came from the people and it will be decided by the people. Today I announce that referendum day will be the 14th of October. On that day, every Australian will have a once-in-a-generation chance to bring our country together and to change it for the better.
Anthony Albanese said that at this referendum, Australians are being asked not to vote for a political party or a person, but an idea. And he raised his voice as he attempted a plea to the Australian public to embrace constitutional change.
So in a spirit of generosity and optimism, vote yes. In recognition of 65,000 years of history, vote yes. With hope for a better future, vote yes. Vote yes on October 14. Thank you.
Indigenous elder Major Sumners, who was holding the welcome to country before the Prime Minister spoke, offered a welcome not just to the people who were in the room there, but also their ancestors, calling on them to help the people make a decision when it comes to this referendum.
I'd like to invite our ancestors here to be with us. My ancestors, your ancestors, wherever you come from. Help us to think about what we're doing here today, how we're going to vote.
Other Indigenous speakers then called on every voice supporter to get off the sidelines and effectively get involved in this campaign as it kicks off in earnest over the next 6 weeks. Now, a member of the referendum working group, Megan Davis, spoke, explaining what the Uluru Statement from the Heart is all about from the perspective of those who wrote it. She says that this is effectively an offering to move forward together.
In the Uluru Statement, our people chose generosity, we chose unity, we chose real change, and we chose love.
The South Australian Premier Peter Malinauskas also spoke. He was effectively selling the progressive moves that South Australia has made in the past when it comes to reforms. And beyond that, he also had a pitch to this generation to once again embrace change.
If our forefathers and mothers can say yes to universal franchise, if our great-grandparents can say yes to waves of migration, if our grandparents can say yes in 1967, if our parents can say yes to land rights, then this generation is capable of saying yes to an advisory committee.
So what we've seen in other parts around the country today is effectively a bipartisan show of support from the voice from some people who have been opposed in the political sphere over the past. That might be the Environment Minister, Tanya Plibersek, alongside former Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull, whose government once upon a time opposed the concept of a constitutionally enshrined voice. Back when the Uluru Statement from the Heart was first released, we saw Greens leader Adam Bandt alongside NDIS Minister Bill Shorten. And of course, this campaign, which which will kick off in earnest and be a ground campaign over the next 6 weeks, the government will have to deal with while also working through the political issues of the day. And there's quite a few big events that I just want to list off for you over the next few weeks. To begin with, we've got 2 weeks of Parliament sitting starting from Monday onwards. Voice campaigner Michael Long expects to complete his walk to Parliament sometime in that sitting period. The Prime Minister is heading off overseas for some important trips. Beyond that, we've obviously got the AFL Grand Final on September 30, the NRL Grand Final the following day, and we've got ultramarathon runner Pat Farmer arriving to Uluru. It's expected on October 11, 3 days before the vote itself. So it gives you a bit of an idea of what we're going to see evolve over the next 6 weeks.